Hello, and welcome to another episode of Shou Talks. Today, I want to talk about body language and actually taking the time to listen to your body. And I can tell you right now, I am an expert in learning the hard way that your body knows more than you think. Um, you know, People talk about listening to your body all the time. That's what we're hearing nowadays. And I don't think people really know what that actually means. It means slowing down, tuning out the nonsense and actually taking the time to ask yourself questions. Like, how am I feeling? What's my energy level at? And, where's my head at right now? How's my body feeling? I think we are so desensitized to taking care of our bodies, and especially if you live in the city, it's always go off to the next project, that we never take the time to debrief our bodies, debrief our minds, and that can actually have such a detrimental reaction to it in and of itself. I, speaking from experience, will tell you, whether it's a work project, whether it's a life project, hell, at some point it was even relationships. I never sat down to debrief what happened, where things went wrong, where things went right, and how I can be better the next time. And it was always, broke up, next, broke up, next, and it never gave me the opportunity to learn who I was. But that's another topic. We're going to go back to body language. But even working on projects, I've had, and it wasn't until my recent boss who sat me down in one of our, check-ins, and he said, you're always so quick to get to the next project that sometimes you leave things undone. It's okay to circle back to the beginning and say, all right, this was completed 100%. Now I can move on. Or this was completed. Let's talk about it and see what we can do next time if it arises, how we can be better at it. I never took that time to pace myself. It was always a race. I was always racing to the next activity. I was always racing to the next big thing, never really taking the time to learn the experience within this task. So what does it actually mean to listen to your body? It's a phrase that refers to learning how to tune into the way your body talks to you, because believe it or not, our body is constantly feeding us information, constantly receiving we are constantly receiving messages from our body, whether it's hunger, thirst, pain, a stomach ache, tension, tightness in your chest, butterflies in your stomach, lust is, information that our body is telling us, like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, these are all things that our bodies are telling us to feel. Our bodies are telling us to, whether we react or not. And I think sometimes we misinterpret the message as, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. The messages our bodies send us have no tone. It's neither good or bad. It's actually a neutral message for you to digest, for you to dissect and figure out where you want to go about it. But once again, leading back to, we have this mindset of, we need to train our bodies. You need to make your body, do this and do that and feel this way. And the reality of it is, it's our bodies that are actually training us for what it can endure. When you get into the habit of suppressing your body's messages, you actually miss out on some really important messages. And, society has pretty much convinced us that it's normal for our bodies to be broken down and for us to be tired all the time. And no, No, we are not supposed to be dreading along through this thing called life. The whole point of life is to live it. In a past podcast where I spoke with Carmen B, you saw we spoke about the difference of surviving versus living. And we were built to live life. And it's not necessarily surprising, but there are so many people that live with chronic fatigue, headaches, low back pain, anxiety, and poor digestion because they never took the time to actually listen to their body. What I think is funny is when you're born, you're actually born with your body having signals. And your body, as a baby, your body is telling you you're hungry. You can't feed yourself. That's kind of where your parent comes in and they have to feed you. But as a baby, you don't know what hunger is, but there's some sensation happening in your stomach that's making you uncomfortable. So therefore, your reaction is, I gotta cry, because if I don't have some type of reaction, then these people out here not gonna know I'm hungry. And I think the disconnection in that situation is you don't control how much food you eat. That's really up to your parents. And sometimes, as a kid, you're forced to eat more than you can. And, I know I grew up in a Haitian household, so we always had the situation where my mom would be putting food on our plate and she'd be like, oh, tell me when it's enough. And then you tell her it's enough and she just add that one more spoon and it's like, bruh, I told you it was enough. And I can't tell my mother, no, I'm not eating all this food you gave me. It was, I need to stuff my face, and I think it kind of leads to one of the problems we have in society of obesity. You grow up being forced to eat all this food and then your body just becomes immune to it. Your body you can't hear your body telling you, I'm full. Stop feeding me. Stop putting things inside of me. I'm full. Because it's like, am I listening to my body? Or am I going to listen to my mother who has a belt in her hand is going to whoop me if I don't eat this plate? And even to go furthermore, when you get older and when you want to diet, every year there's like a new craze happening. I think now the new fitness diet thing is keto. I'm not too well versed in the keto world. I've thought I knew so much about it, but I got shut down. So I'm gonna leave my thoughts about keto, to the side, since they're not too, what's the word I'm looking for? Viable. But I will say that, there are certain diets that we see or we hear about where we're like, so you're starving yourself. Okay, well, how is that gonna work for you in the long run? I've done intermittent fasting where I was doing 18-6. Yeah. So I would fast for 18 hours, eat for 6. And I started to tell myself, I got into the habit of letting myself know, all right, is this something that I can see me doing long term? If it's not, cross it off your list. It is not something that you need. Like, whether your body was hungry or full didn't matter. What your body wanted didn't matter. What mattered was mastering your body and exerting the willpower over your body. And the important thing was to tune out your body's signals and turn towards outside instruction on how to eat, how to move, how to live, how to exercise, how to push forward so you can get this amazing body, not realizing that you are suppressing the one thing that matters, and that's your body's signals. It's funny because our bodies know exactly what they need to be nourished, to be fulfilled, to be happy, to be whole. And we, of course, in this lovely society we live in, we think we know better. So it's like, I'm going to only eat this and my body's gonna have to deal with it. And what we fail to realize is our bodies be sitting back going, oh, all right, okay, bro. So you only gonna give me one meal today? Oh, I bet. I'm gonna let you rock out for a little bit of time, and then eventually I'm gonna come for that ass. Like, it's something that you can't force somebody to to see. You can't force somebody to learn. They have to experience their own difficulties, their own trials, before they can start listening to their bodies. But there are warning signs that you can at least try to look out for, that your body does send you. There's, if you ever feel like off center or out of focus, detached, numb, sometimes you wake up and you're just like, something isn't right, but you can't put your finger on it. That is a sign from your body. That is a message. Sit back and reflect on whatever it is you have going on and try to figure that out. You know what I mean? Sometimes if you feel toxic, or if you feel like you're coming down with the flu, sickness, let me tell y'all something. And it's funny because my best friend's gonna laugh, because she used to always cuss me out, because every time I would get sick, it was very rarely in the winter. It was usually around high stress times, whether, especially back in college, whether it was like I had 3 exams, 4 papers due, and then I'm still working, and then there's just so much going on with my whatever relationship I was in at the time, and family, and just juggling 10,000 things, to the point that my body would just shut down, and I would get sick. And I would get that phone call from Miss Steph. Stephanie didn't play them games with me. She goes, "Didn't I tell you to sit down? How many things were you juggling today?" You know what I mean? But it's because I was ignoring my body. It was because I was telling my body what we were going to do. I was telling my body I was in charge. And my body was like, "Okay, sis, I'm going to let you rock out, but I'm going to come for you. I'm going to let you know in a little bit. I'm going to let you think that you got this. But we going to know who's the boss real soon. Real soon." Other warning signs are unexplainable symptoms that you might have had for years. I spoke earlier about chronic pain, chronic headaches, and, some people have lumps in their throats, or, aching hearts, or just knots in their stomach. It's just these are sensations that your body tells you is going on. These are things that your body's like, listen to me, we have a problem, I need you to figure this out. And when you experience these situations, it really is worthwhile to start taking a general inventory of your health, your stress level, figure out what areas you can improve, examine everything from exercise to alone time to your relationships to work. Just inventory of everything in your life, and make sure that you're allotting time for you to recharge. I've just started doing self-care Sundays, and we all know Issa Rae was talking about it on Insecure, where her and Molly were taking Sundays for themselves. And I never really realized the importance of that until I started doing it. And this past Sunday, I literally cut off all communication with people. Now, my social media is pre-scheduled. I know some of you are probably just like, you was definitely posting on Sunday. No. That was already scheduled. But I didn't take any phone calls. I didn't make any phone calls. Outside of going to church, I detached from the outside world so that I can recharge and be able to make it through the week. You know what I mean? Because sometimes what people fail to realize is being social takes up so much energy, and your energy never dies. Let's get that straight. I remember that from science. Energy does not die. It is transferred. So if you are spending all this time and all this energy into all these projects, what are you doing for yourself? How are you allowing yourself to rejuvenate? Even batteries lose charge. Even batteries need to be recharged if you fancy and you got them rechargeable batteries. But even things that are supposed to be keeping your electronics going need to be recharged. So why is it that we don't think as human beings that our bodies need to be recharged? Listening to your body is truly an art. It entails sensing smaller symptoms before they become full blown. If you have a little sniffle, get that checked, because that little sniffle could turn into the flu. And you don't want the flu. Like, let's think about it. How many people do we know that hate going to the doctor? Oh, I'm not going to the doctor. If I go to the doctor, they're just going to run up a bill and take all these tests that I don't need to be taken. Yeah, but what if you go to the doctor and treat something that you didn't even realize you had? How many stories have we heard of people going into the doctors for a headache and finding out it's a tumor? So you've been walking around with a tumor in your head for about 5 years because you was dealing with an uncomfortable pain that you thought would just go away, or that you thought you could just put in your back pocket and carry on with your time. And the reality of it is, had you taken your behind to the doctor when your headache lasted more than 3 days, you probably could have gotten rid of that issue, or at least subdued it somehow. Now, I'm not saying that doctors are all healing, but what I'm saying is it's probably best to try to get ahead of the situation before it gets ahead of you. I think one thing that people fail to realize is mindfulness is key. And denial, because a lot of us be in denial. A lot of us be like, oh, it's just a back pain because, I don't sit upright. Yeah, did you get your back checked? Might be scoliosis. Denial is literally the antithesis. I be trying to speak, y'all, of intuition. And I think that's going to be another topic, because we got to talk about intuition and energy and vibes. But I do want to talk about, real quickly before I end this, how you can listen to your body. I think the biggest step to listening to your body is actually slowing down. You got to slow down. And I am speaking from experience. Do you know how many times my friends, and there's one in particular, my boo, Miss Charlene Chin. I done said her whole government. But anytime we would have, because we have a little group chat, we call ourselves Sisters Healing in Faith Together, the Shift. But every time I would go and vent about whatever situation is happening, whether it's work, whether it's family, whether it's relationships, I would just go off the handle. And Charlene's first reaction would be, Shou, breathe. And before, it used to annoy me. I love you, Char. I do. But you have to. You need to slow down. Multitasking is not always the way. Your body alone is literally performing thousands of tasks a minute just to keep you alive. And that's without all the extra stuff you're giving it. That's just telling you to wake up, brush your teeth, don't stub your toe, don't fall into the bathtub, don't bring any electronics with you while you go take a shower. It's all these things that reminding you, oh, don't go there. Your body's already doing that on a regular basis. So trying to add more to that list only depletes the amount of energy you have to get through that day. Another way to listen to your body is understanding that there's a connection between your soul and your body. And when I speak of that, I'm referring to mindfulness and your spiritual well-being and the peace that comes from knowing and loving yourself on a daily basis. I read a bunch of articles before I started this podcast, before I started this episode, just so I can hear other people's perspective when it comes to listening to your body. And I found this one line that was amazing where it says, matters of the soul quickly become matters of the body, and vice versa. Matters of the soul quickly become matters of the body. That line, first and foremost, need to go on a t-shirt. But it makes sense, and it hit me because that falls into exactly what I just said. When I used to be so stressed out that I would then catch a cold, and it was kind of like my body was going, sis, I can't do this no more, and you're not listening to me tell you I need a break. So now I gotta go to extreme measures and take us out for like a good week or two, so that I can rejuvenate, so that I can recharge and help you be the best you can be. You know what I mean? Other ways is, they tell you at the airport, well, on an airplane, secure your mask. Secure your mask before helping anybody else. And that falls into, self-care. Like I told y'all, I done cut people off on Sundays. Self-care is super essential to our well-being and just surviving in this world. You gotta prioritize it. I posted something the other day where it was, self-care isn't selfish. It's not. You gotta learn to say no. You gotta learn to put yourself first. You gotta take care of your star player. Because I'll tell you this, and I've said it before, when you die alone. When you die, your job posting will be out before your obituary. So why not take care of you first? Why not put Shou ahead of everybody else? I've had a really good friend of mine tell me the other day, see, I told y'all this is an ongoing process, that when I wake up in the morning, I'm not number one. Now, this is him telling me about myself. I've come to realize I got a lot of friends that tell me about myself. But he legit was just like, you're not number one. You got so many other people on that list before you get to yourself. And saying that out loud is funny because, oh my gosh, I want to say maybe like 8 or 9 years ago, I had another friend, where we worked together, and she was like, do you understand that you have everybody over here at like number one, and you probably have yourself, I don't know, number 10 on your list, if it's even that high? And I'm like, at least I'm getting better, because that was 9 years ago. I was number 10. 3 weeks ago, I'm number 4 on my list. So I'm making improvements, y'all. I'm getting to the top. But yeah, I'm learning to listen. I have times where I still have the mindset of I'll rest when I die. At the rate I'm going, that might be sooner than needed. So I am forcing myself. First step is self-care Sundays, y'all. Any of y'all that are my friends, now you know, if you call me on Sunday, I will not be answering my phone. You can send me a text message. I may respond, but communication on Sundays are now off the table. Let me be me. I had, referring back to my podcast with Carmen when we spoke about surviving and learning to love yourself and listen to yourself. I love that she turns her phone off at 8:30 every night. 8:30, she's no longer available. What if there's an emergency? Call 911. I can't do nothing for you. And she said it perfectly. I'd rather address this situation on a full night of sleep. Because think about it like this. You got a situation, I'm tired, I gotta come help you. Now I got an attitude because I am losing sleep to help you with your problem. Now we all mad. Now I don't care what's going on. But yes, like I said, at the end of the day, your biggest responsibility is you. Your body is always sending you feedback. Your body's always sending you messages. Your body is constantly giving you information. Some of us are too loud with what we want and our desires that we don't even hear our bodies speaking to us. Now more than ever, we all still quarantined, sitting at home. Learn to listen to your body. Learn to tune in. Learn to take notes. Learn to start setting boundaries for yourself. We got to start setting up boundaries for ourselves so that we can learn to set boundaries for other people. And that's all I want to say. I just want to tell y'all to listen to your bodies. I just want y'all to pay attention to body language. And I'm not talking about the sexual type. I'm talking, like I said, that could be another podcast. But I'm talking about genuinely listening to your body. Because once you're able to listen to your own body, it allows you to navigate through life and actually pick up vibes and energy from other people. You know what I mean? You don't know how many times your body has probably tried to tell you, don't go there. Don't do that. This ain't for us. But a lot of us are stubborn. A lot of us are so stuck on, I gotta do it, I want it, this is what I want. And your body's like, this ain't what we want, dog. Leave it alone. This is not for us. And then we don't listen. And then we fall. Whether it's physically or emotionally. And we don't know why. And then we just keep repeating the cycle. Repeating the concept, repeating the issue, repeating the pain. And eventually your body goes, all right, sis, I'm going to let you rock out for a little bit. Then I'm going to have to go ahead and tap that to make you sit down. And when your body makes you sit down, oh, baby, you're not getting up. Not yet. I'd rather be out of commission for 24 hours than 24 days. Just saying. Just my thoughts. Anyway. Oh, y'all. Thank you for rocking out with me. Like I said, over here at Shou Talks, we just vibing out. Whatever comes to heart, whatever comes to mind, I'm over here to let y'all know what's good in the streets of shenanigans. All right, y'all. Thank you for rocking out. I will catch y'all on the next one. Make sure you follow me on Anchor, on Google Podcasts, on Spotify, on Pocket Cast. I'm everywhere, y'all. I also upload these videos onto YouTube, so if you are already following Shenanigans, you can continue watching me on YouTube. These podcasts are being uploaded on there, Instagram. I have all my information in my detail bio area. But real quick, I'll go ahead and shoot it out for you. You can follow me on Instagram at I_am_shenanigans, SHOUNANIGANS. That's all. I'm only gonna give you the Instagram one because on Instagram I have my link tree and you can just find me everywhere. Alright, y'all. Well, thank you for listening. I've said that like 12,000 times, but I'm gonna keep thanking you because you didn't have to stick through, but you did, and you made it this far. So I appreciate you, and I will catch you guys on the next episode. And I'm out.